What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, we're going to talk about the game Final Fantasy Legend 3, which was released on the Nintendo Game Boy by Square Enix. And this is the third game in the Saga series, Now, the plot of the game is that Curtis, Arthur, and Gloria are sent back in time to stop a massive flood from destroying the world, which was caused by the Pure Land Water entity. And pretty much from the start of the game, you fight two diviners and two sprites, you know, and after you defeat them, you pretty much find out that you're in pretty much a battle simulator, Then um, you pretty much find out that there's a flood that caused a lot of pretty much damage so far, and the elders take you, have you travel through time and get some stuff, and pretty much he didn't want like Gloria to go with Arthur and stuff to take care of the situation, but he let her go on anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now, pretty much you go to different locations like Overworld, Seaflood, and Twin Towers as you travel through the past, present, and the future to take care of the situation that was caused by the Pure Land Water entity and stuff. Now, as far as like the weapons and stuff like that, you can get like a variety of weapons which are divided up into melee, missiles, martial arts, and fixed weapons and stuff like that. Now, the one thing that I took notice of anyway, was the martial arts aspects of the weapons, because martial arts was never really like a part of the Final Fantasy franchise up until this point. You know what I'm saying? But they're still useful against against certain enemies. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a lot different stuff you can also obtain, like armor and magic and stuff like that. You know, the usual stuff in a Final Fantasy game. And there's like a lot of weapons, a lot of armor, and a lot of magic that you can get and stuff like that. Now with the armor, you get like, of course, helmets, armor, gloves, shoes, and stuff like that. And as far as the magic is concerned, they're divided into attack, support, travel, and items. And now, as far as the enemies, there's like a boatload of enemies that are in this game. I guess it has Final Fantasy Legend contain the most enemies within the Final Fantasy franchise. I'm not really like 100% sure of that. You can mention it in the comments section if that's the case. Anyway, as far as the enemies are concerned, they're pretty much divided into the elements earth, wind, fire, and water and stuff like that. And the enemies you'll fight will be like snakes, sprites, diviners, different enemies like that, along with like starfish and stuff like that. Now, there's a particular thing that you can use called abilities called talent, and pretty much you have to have like a specific species on your team that's not mutants or humans to really obtain these talents. You know what I'm saying? And the type of talents that's available depending on which species you have on your team, and they tend to change the talents depending on which species you happen to change up. You know what I'm saying? So you want to take advantage of any talents that's really like available. You know. Now, as far as the graphics and design, it's they're actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And they're pretty consistent with the Final Fantasy franchise and stuff like that. And the controls and gameplay are pretty good. And I like pretty much the list of like weapons, magic, and armor that you can pick up and use against like different enemies when you encounter them and stuff like that. And as far as the soundtrack is concerned, it is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot of variety, and I can honestly say it's one of the best soundtracks you would listen to when it comes to Game Boy titles and stuff like that. Now, as far as the gripes, they're relatively minor and they're not really worth bringing up in my opinion. And when it comes to Final Fantasy Legend 3, it's pretty much a good game and it's a must-have title when you talk about Game Boy titles and stuff like that. Especially if you're an RPG fan or fan of the Final Fantasy franchise and stuff like that. As far as the score, I would definitely give Final Fantasy Legend 3 a 9 out of 10 because it is pretty excellent. You know what I'm saying? It's worth playing, in my opinion. With that being said, sound off in the comment section about Final Fantasy Legend 3. Is it like your favorite Final Fantasy game when it comes to the Final Fantasy game that was released on the Game Boy? Is it your favorite Final Fantasy game in general, or whatever the case may be? If you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.